from happyholidaysparts.com. Today we are going to talk about how to replace the motor in the Department 56 Sledding Hill. This will be an informative video on how to desolder the motor, remove the plate, put the cap in, reinstall the motor, and test to make sure it's running in the right direction. We hope you enjoy this video. Grab a Phillips head screwdriver. There will be 3 screws on the top that need to be unscrewed to get the plate off and remove the whole motor and gear assembly. What you can do is loosen the 2 screws with a Phillips screwdriver, pull off the bar which holds the gear assembly on, and just replace the belt. Clean the groove inside the pulley just before you reinstall the belt. In this way, it'll have a nice clean surface to turn on. The gear assembly out, inspect the gear, and clean if necessary. Then you can always add a little lubricant just before reinstallation for the gear assembly. Should inspect the belt. The belt should be rubbery and pliable. If it is dried out, replace. And you can get it from happyholidaysparts.com on our website. Motor assembly out, you'll want to get your soldering iron. Now for this procedure, you don't need a lot of heat. A 60-watt soldering iron would be well more than sufficient to remove the wires from the motor. Meter to check to see which terminal is negative and which terminal is positive. Stick the one lead on the center terminal of the block, where you would plug the adapter in. The second wire, you'll check each terminal going to the motor. Whenever it buzzes on the voltmeter, that's when you'll know which wire is positive and which wire is negative. Just make sure you turn on the switch so there is continuity. And loosen the 2 screws so the motor and the pulley will pop out. Once this is done, you will have 2 methods to remove the pulley. If you don't have a pulley puller, you can use a large flathead screwdriver as seen and pry the brass pulley off. Just be careful not to pry it too hard, as you may damage the brass pulley. The best way to do it is with a small pulley puller, as seen in the video. This will make it clean and you will not damage the pulley. Once it's lined, turn the pulley puller and then you'll see the pulley will start to rise off the shaft. You can also finish it with a flathead screwdriver, as it will take not too much pressure to release the pulley from the shaft. Pulley on the new motor. What I usually like to do is find something that'll keep the motor stable. Put the pulley on top of the shaft and use a flathead screwdriver and tap it on gently. Just make sure it does not go too far down in the shaft, as you want this pulley to be aligned with the other pulley so the belt is level when it runs. On the motor shaft, you can reinstall the motor with the 2 small screws and a Phillips screwdriver on the motor plate. Installation is to reinstall the new capacitor onto the motor leads. Once the capacitor is prepped, you will stick the leads through the small terminals on the motor. There is no polarity of the capacitor, so it does not matter which way the capacitor will be installed on the motor. Once the leads are through the holes of the terminals, you can bend them slightly, and that will hold it in the process while resoldering the wires onto the motor terminals. The wires onto the terminals is to add a little solder onto the terminals first. This will hold the capacitor in place and prepare the surface for the wires to be reinstalled on the terminals. Clean the surface with a cloth or brush. This will help keep the unit running smoothly. Tube of grease. Break the tube open and apply a small amount. Remember, less is more, so you don't need a large amount of grease on the gear itself. clean and add a little bit of lubricant to the gear. The gears lubricated and the motor installed onto the plate, you can reinstall the 3 screws and reattach the plate onto the larger plate. Time before reinstalling it on the pulley shaft. Should be pliable. Wrap it around the small pulley first and then the large pulley. Check the alignment by turning the unit sideways. This will tell if both shafts are level, and this will make the belt run more smoothly. And now reinstall the pulley plate. Add a small bit of grease onto the top of the shaft. This will keep it lubricated. Then use your Phillips screwdriver and tighten the plate back down. This will hold the pulley in place. Completely back together, turn the unit on its side and just inspect that both pulleys and the belt are fairly aligned up. This is to make sure the unit is running in the correct direction. The magnets are tapered. The tapered side should run into the unit first. If, when you turn the unit on, it's running backwards and jams, you'll have to remove the plate and switch the wires around on the motor terminals. This will correct the problem. Other than that, if everything's running smoothly, you have completed your installation of the new motor. Our installation. Thank you for watching video 2 on how to install Department 56 Sledding Hill. We thank you for watching.